Today, the Honorable Mohammed Amin Adam, Deputy Energy Minister, who has been named as Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance, has been speaking to me and explaining why the Gold for Oil program should take credit for the reduction of the fuels we have been buying at the pumps. Let's listen. The Vice President says that the Gold for Oil is to take credit or to be credited for what we are seeing at the pumps where fuel prices are reducing. A think tank that you once belonged to, incidentally, Africa Center for Energy Policy, you're a founding member, is saying that that is not true. You are in government. How do you respond to this?
Well, I think that we know that there are people who don't like the gold for oil. I mean, obviously, but we are very convinced that the gold for oil is revolutionary, and it has helped us in two ways. Number one is the fact that the market of petroleum products in Ghana is priced based on what we call forward exchange rates. Now, what the gold for oil has done is to enable us price it based on the exchange rate at which the gold is bought, is purchased from the exporters, the local exporters. And so you are going to find the exchange rate for the gold lower than the 3-month forward exchange rate used by the market. And that alone is enough to reduce the prices of petroleum products. I have read the responses given by ASEP and my brother Jinapor, and I think that they do not understand our petroleum market in relation to the international market, because they both are using crude oil price movement to determine why the prices are going down. Whilst crude oil prices generally can determine the movement in petroleum product prices, in Ghana, the prices of petroleum products are influenced largely, up to 90%, by international prices of petroleum products, not crude oil. International prices of petroleum products and also the exchange rate. So I'll give you an example. Whilst they are arguing that crude oil prices have been falling, the international price of diesel actually increased by 2.53% for this window. In spite of this increase in the international price of diesel, we have seen this decrease in the domestic price at the pump by about 4%. And so if you are using crude oil prices, you will be wrong in that sense.
Okay, does it mean
also,
that... Okay, go ahead.
Also, if you look at the exchange rate, this window, the market is using a 3-month forward exchange rate of 13.54 cedis to a dollar. But the gold for oil products are priced based on an exchange rate of 12.5 cedis to a dollar. So on the basis of this alone, you should see domestic prices at the pump falling. And so it cannot be true that because crude oil prices are falling, that is why the domestic prices are falling. The domestic prices are falling because of the interventions we have made, which has helped on the exchange rate side, and the impact of the exchange rate is what we are seeing in the fall in domestic prices of petroleum products at the pump.
So to trace it directly, you are saying that you have controlled the depreciation of the cedi, hence indirectly controlling the rise of the price of fuel at the pumps. That's what you're saying directly.
Exactly. Because anytime the exchange rate depreciates, that is where we see an increase in petroleum product prices. And when the exchange rate appreciates, when the cedi appreciates, then you see a decrease And so it's not necessarily due to movement in crude oil prices. And as I indicated, I mean, these factors are well known, and I expect ISEP to know this.
But is it your position that the reduction of the price of crude oil had no bearing whatsoever on what we are witnessing locally?
No, but as I said, prices of crude oil generally affect prices of petroleum products. But I'm saying that context is important. In the context of Ghana, our prices are influenced by international prices of petroleum products and then by exchange rate. And this is why I gave you an example. For example, crude oil prices are falling, but diesel prices, international price of diesel have increased. So are you going to use the crude oil price that is falling to determine our price, or you are going to use the international price of diesel, which has increased, to determine our price? We don't bring in crude. We don't bring crude into our economy. We bring petroleum products.
But of course,
and so you will be wrong if you want to use crude rather than the actual product that is brought into the country.
Yeah, but because the one who gives us the product would be affected by the reduction of the crude by the oil-producing country. And so that's why it may be indirect, but it is still a necessary point that has to be made. The question then would be, if you take the two issues as a whole, just like if you take the two issues as a whole, say gold for oil plus the reduction of crude oil on the international market and the subsequent reduction or otherwise of the price of petroleum products, what percentage would you say goes to gold for oil and what percentage goes to the crude oil reduction for what we are seeing at the pumps?
Well, I first of all, the impact of crude oil. You see, when a refinery buys crude oil, the refinery refines it into petroleum products. And so aside the crude oil price, there is also the refinery cost. Okay? There is the refinery cost. Then you also have the freight charges, the insurance. So depending on the values allocated to the refinery, refining the crude into products, the freight charges, the insurance, you may see crude oil price decrease, but the prices of the international prices of the petroleum products increase, such as what is happening at the moment. Crude prices decreases, but the international price of diesel actually increased by 2.22%. Okay, and so you have two different things.
Yes, but I'm still going to the question. I still want to know. So, does it mean that you are saying that the reduction of crude oil played 0% in what we are seeing at the pumps locally, and that it was inconsequential in all forms and substance? That what we saw, crude oil being reduced, has nothing to do with what we are seeing at the pumps at all. 0% contribution.
Yeah, you can't say that.
So that's what I want to know. So you have a fraction or a percentage you can use for me, so we can say, okay, gold for oil accounted for so much, reduction of crude oil prices accounts for so much. Do you have that breakdown?
No, first of all, I don't even want to talk about the crude oil price because we brought in petroleum products, not crude oil.
But of course, petroleum products are affected by the price of crude oil, so you can't disentangle the two.
But eventually, what we pay for is the price of the petroleum product, not the crude. And this is why I'm saying that there are other factors that account for the price of the petroleum product. You know, crude oil is one, but there are others like refinery costs. There are others like freight, charges. They all will accumulate to determine the international prices of petroleum products, and also demand and supply.
Okay.
Because if there is not enough petroleum products, relative to the demand, the price will increase, even though crude oil prices may be going down. This is why I'll give you a classic example.
Okay.
That crude oil prices are going down, but the FOB price of diesel actually went up by 2.2%.
So let's look at.
Okay. So what will you say to that? Now, if you want to apportion percentages, it's difficult also to say because some of the ONCs are commingling the gold for oil products with products they are sourcing from other BDCs who are also sourcing from different IOTs. And so it's difficult to do the percentages unless I sit there and look at the figures.
All right. How about we look at it from another angle? How much, in terms of volumes, has the government brought under the gold for oil deal thus far?
The volumes that have come in, as far as diesel is concerned, the quantity of gasoline, gas oil, let's start with gas oil. First, on the 3rd of March, we brought in 40,000 metric tons. 40,000 metric tons. On the 18th of March, we brought in 40,000 metric tons.
You mean 18th of February, not March?
Yeah, 18th of March.
No, we are on the 16th of March, so it couldn't have been 18th of March.
It's coming today, arriving today. 40,000 metric tons. And then it will be discharged into the market on
so let me just be sure with the date.
So these are the March figures.
Let me just be sure with the date. So the first date was 4th of March, or is it 8th of March, you said?
Okay, so let me give you February figures. I was taking them up. So February gas oil 49,000. Then that was 20th January. 27th February 51,000. Okay. And then for gasoline, that is petrol, 27th February 40,000. And then also on the 5th of March, another 48,000. So, but March, on the 1st of March, 40,000 gas oil came, and that is diesel. And then on the 5th of March, 30,000 petrol came in. So today we are expecting gas oil of 40,000 metric tons. And then on the 21st of March, we will be receiving petrol 30,000. Then also on the 24th of March and the 30th of March, we'll be receiving gas oil of 40,000 and 35,000 respectively.